Okay, so next we're going to start creating the table lookups. Just to share an example, first of all, from the data end, we've got these three tables. We've got table customers, we've got table performers, and we've got our titles table. Okay, now each customer has a title and each performer has a title. Okay, and this information for both performers and customers comes across from this table here. Okay, what we don't want to do is be putting in Mr, Mrs, etc. into performers and then having to do the same in customers. It becomes messy. So we have one central table where we store that data, and then we pull it across into customers and we pull it across into performers. So a really quick example then of how it works. Okay, under customers, we've got Mr, Mrs, Miss, Doctor and Reverend, and under performers, where are we? There we are. We've got exactly the same as well. So let's say we have a new customer who says their title is Sir. We can add Sir to the table titles, okay, and we'll just very quickly save that. Okay, so when we go back to performers, what we'll have to do quickly then is just close all those tables, okay, and then go back to customers and performers. Now this time in the drop down you can see Sir for performers, and under customers you can also see Sir there as well. So before we create the lookups, I'm just going to show you very quickly the relationships. So if you go to database tools, click on relationships, you can see all the relationships between all the tables within the database. So we were looking at titles, which is here. Okay, let's nudge these out of the way a bit, bring performers down here. So you can see that we've got one set of titles, Mr, Mrs, etc., and that is shared over to the table customers, and it's also shared across the table performers. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. Now, because these relationships have already been created, I can't create them again. So for the purpose of this demonstration, just to delete them, I'm going to click on the relationship that I want to delete, and I'm going to press delete on my keyboard. And am I sure I want to permanently delete the relationship? Yes, I do. And we'll say bye-bye to this one as well. There we are. So now we're ready to start creating some relationships. So if we just come out of this quickly. So we'll just close out of the relationships tab. Do I want to save the layout of the relationships? That just means, do I want to save the way I've organised the physical layout here? So yes, I will do. And I'm back to my tables view. Now I'm working with table customers, table performers, and I also want to pick up the titles table, which is this one here. So just open that for reference. So we'll start with table customers. We shall go into design view. Okay, and I'm looking for title. Okay, now under lookup, I've still got the lookup in there. So although the relationship has been deleted, I'm just going to delete that one as well. Okay, and then I'll go to lookup wizard. I want to look up the field to get the values from another table or query. So click on next. Now this is where I've got to be careful, because as we build up lots and lots of queries and forms and tables, it does start to get a bit confusing, and there's lots and lots here. So make sure I've got tables, and I'm looking for table titles. There he is. I select the table I want, click on next, and I just want the title. So I'll select title and I'll nudge it over to the selected fields. Click on next. I don't want to sort it into any particular order. Click on next, and I've got a preview there of the data that I'm looking up. I'm happy with that. Click on next. What label would you like for your lookup field? Contact title. It's taken that name from here for me. Click on finish, and it asks me, or tells me, the table must be saved before the relationship can be created. Do I want to save? Yes, I do. Now very quickly, if I drop over to the relationships, we can see that that relationship has been created. So I'm going to do the same again. This time I'm going to do it for the performers. So I'm going to go into design view, title, performer title. I just very quickly need to get rid of that from there. Delete that one. Okay. So data type is a lookup. Exactly the same process. I want to look up the field to get the values from another table or query. Click on next. I'm looking for table titles. Table titles. Next. Just choose title, nudge him over and click on next. Don't want to do any sorting, so I'll click on next. Again, I can just quick visual check. That's all the data I want. Click on next, and we're going to call it performer title. And again, it takes the name from the field name. Click on finish, Do I want to save? Yes, I do. And we can see it's been created there in the row source. And if we go back to our relationships, it should, where's it gone? Now that might be because I haven't got the performers table. Yes, I have. There. That's strange. What I didn't do was save the table, although it asked me do I want to save the table, and I clicked on yes, it hadn't worked. So just by simply clicking on save, then going back to relationships, I can see now that the relationship has been created over here as well. Okay, so just to have a look at the data working again, we'll go back to table customers, okay, home and back to design view, okay, and there are my lookup titles, and I'll do the same for performers, home, and jump into design view. Where are we? There we are, and again, they're there. Okay. So this has been a quick overview of how to create a lookup. Now you're going to create lots of different lookups. I'll run through some of those in the next video, but just to remind you that a lookup is looking up one set of data from another table. So in this example, from the customers table, we've looked up titles, and from the performers table, we've looked up titles. And when we add any new information to the titles table, as I did, for example, Sir, once we've saved everything, Sir is pulled across into customers, and Sir is also pulled across into performers. Okay, so now you can have a go at creating your lookups for customers and performers, looking up the titles from the titles table. Have a go at that now.